But this was an interesting book. Um, so welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina, and this is where we read books and talk books. No special effects going on here. No theme music. None of that fancy schmancy stuff here. Just very low tech. Just read books, talk about books. Don't forget about Flashback Mondays and Star Trek Fridays. Like I've said, I'm a series person. I like to read series. I like to read the character progression from book to book to book. Just like Star Trek Next Generation, you might solve the storyline from each episode unless it's a two-parter, but the characters still progress throughout the series. And that's why I'm a series person. So we are doing Flashback Monday, Star Trek Next Generation. Please check out my JD Robb videos, and please check out my Laurel K. Hamilton videos. And I've done a couple others as I've picked them up. So anyways, I've gotten stuck on Cotton Malone, can you tell? So we are doing Steve Berry, the Warsaw Protocol. Now, let me fix me notes. I just had... Alright. So, Cotton is going to Poland for an auction. And he wants to buy please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I've got this fantasy that I hit 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. I know that's a massive fantasy. I know it's not going to happen. But if you could help me out a little bit, it would be appreciated. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Just click the old button. I've got a Yankee candle fetish. I never light them, though, ever. These will never be lit. You put one on a candle warmer. I've had mine now. My other one that I've been doing, I'll show it one day, for over 9 years, and it's still mostly there. If you use it on a candle warmer, every day, you'll get about a month to 2 months out of it. If you just leave it 24/7, I don't recommend that at all. But I knew somebody that did that just put it on a candle warmer and left it there for months. Or if you use it on a daily basis, like I do, and turn it off at night, I've had the stupid thing for well over 9 years now, and I've still got almost the entire candle. These will never be used. They're all for decoration, and the Christmas. They're Christmas. And you just wait. This is where my Christmas tree goes. So you just wait in 2 weeks. Well, a month. A little under a month. Oh, so anyways, he's going to this auction, right? And he's in Belgium. Excuse me. I had the wrong place. He had come to Belgium on the hunt for some rare tombs a few of his regular customers had expressed an interest in owning. 1897 printing of Dracula. A 1937 first edition of The Hobbit. And a 1900 original of The Wizard of Oz. All expensive and hard to find. He made a name for himself as a guy who could locate what collectors wanted. But so that's what he did right there. So while he's in Belgium, he sees these guys go into this church and they steal the blood of Christ. And apparently there's another auction going on that requires you to bring one of these items. And The accumulation of holy relics started with Helena, the mother of Constantine the Great. She was also granted the high title of August Imperatrix and allowed unfettered access to imperial treasuries so she could secure the precious objects of the new Christian tradition. To fulfill her mission in AD 326, at the age of 80, she traveled to Palestine as the first Christian archaeologist. In Jerusalem, she ordered a temple that had been built over the site of Christ's tomb near Calvary torn down and a new church erected. Remnants of three different crosses were discovered. Was one the cross upon which Christ died? Nobody knew. To find out, the empress commanded that a woman who was near death be brought to the site. When the woman touched the first and second crosses, her condition did not change, but when she turned the third cross, she immediately recovered. Helena declared that that is to be the true cross and ordered the building of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre at that spot, and so began the veneration of objects. From its inception, Christian belief depended on the miraculous, with Christ rising from the dead. Relics became a part of that belief, filling a void after pagan idols were banned. They were common prior to AD 1000, but the Crusades brought a new wave of relics into Europe. Thousands of objects, everything from teeth to appendages, bones, blood, and even entire bodies. For a church to possess a relic meant that pilgrims could come, and with them a constant revenue stream. Tourists! Not surprising that so many fake relics appeared, as it was much easier to create your own than travel to find one. The Protestant Reformation brought change as relics horrified the reformers. John Calvin said that if all the fragments of the true cross were gathered together, they'd fill a large ship. Yet the gospel testifies that a single man was able to carry it. After 1517, Martin Luther relics lost much of their importance, but eventually seven attained special status. The true cross, I guess that cross, the crown of thorns, those thorns, the pillar of the flogging, the holy sponge, the lance, the nails, and the holy blood, the armor of Christi, weapons of Christ, instruments of passion. According to the Corinthians, to those who renounced the weapons of the world, the Armani Christi were a great protection against temptation. The Armani Christi still exists, though there is debate as to which are the true relics and which are fakes. But the Vatican solved that problem by compiling its own official list. Pieces of the true cross were everywhere. The largest and most notable sat in monastery of Santa Toribio de Libena in Campi, Spain. The crown of thorns seemed equally scattered, many claiming that their thorn was authentic, but the one in St. Anthony's Chapel in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, had acquired a stamp of authenticity. How did it get to Pennsylvania? Shouldn't it be over there in Jerusalem somewheres? Just saying. A segment of the pillar of the flogging, supposedly retrieved by Helena herself, remained in Rome's Basilica of St. Praties. The holy sponge moved from Palestine to Constantinople to France, ending up in Notre Dame. Whether Christ was crucified with 3 or 4 nails had long been debated, but the legend said Helena, while in Palestine, found 4 nails. She supposedly cast one into the sea to calm a storm, a second was mounted into Constantine's battle helmet, a third was fitted to the head of a statue, and the fourth was melted down and molded into a bit for Constantine's horse. Yet there were dozens of nails scattered across Europe. The Vatican ended the debate by blessing the one on display at the cathedral in Bamberg, Germany, as authentic. The 6th relic, the Holy Blood, was here in Bourges, or at least it had been for the past 9 centuries. The 7th is the Holy Lance. People are stealing the relics. Over the course of the last 3 months, 5 have been taken, 2 remain, the nail and the Holy Lance. So these objects were required for admission to this auction. Okay. So then there's also some political stuff going on in Washington. Washington's in upheaval, she said. He smiled. What else is new? Every day there were press reports on the Warner Fox administration, detailing one misstep after another. Policy shifts and staff changes occurred constantly, all with little to no consistency. Fox would say one thing, his advisors and cabinet officers another. Does that remind you of an orange person? Just saying. Everything seemed rudderless, adrift, lacking direction, hit or miss, mostly miss. How bad is it? He asked. They're idiots. They have no clue what they're doing. A band of arrogant, stupid imbeciles who managed somehow to get a grip on power. Tell me how you really feel. The Attorney General has never been inside a courtroom, never served in public office. He was a Wall Street corporate lawyer who graduated from Yale, 145th out of class of 152. His only saving grace is that the guy at number 133 in that same class was Warner Fox. They were roommates in law school. He absolutely loyal to Fox, never questions anything. He just does what he's told. Company. So then we get this new guy, Tom Bunch meets up with them, and he slid his phone from his pocket and typed in Tom Bunch White House and found many references. He decided on the Wikipedia link. Why not? Bunch, throughout the presidential campaign, wrote a number of pro-Fox articles under a pseudonym. He was critical of the left and right, but never the pro-Fox conservative. He portrayed election as a battle to save America, and in one article described it as Flight 93 election, referencing the plane that was hijacked on September, created after passengers fought back against the hijackers. Charge the cockpit or you die, he wrote. Then he went on to say, you may die anyway. You or the leader of your country may make it into the cockpit and not know how to fly or land the plane. There are no guarantees except one. If you don't try, death is certain. What in the world is this guy talking about? So then we've got a new character, or an old character. Sonia Draga comes in, and some of the scenes between her and Cotton remind me of the old, no, well, not old, but I mean, to some of you people probably never even heard of the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie movie. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're walking all over me. You might as well come here. So it reminds me of that because they have a lot of interactions that remind me exactly of that movie. So then we do that. Then we learn that this whole thing is about the Polish president guy. Apparently, he was a communist spy. And the auction is for all the documents that will prove that he was a communist spy. And that's what the whole thing is about. So it says, let's see if I can get this. Because I didn't get it. It had been that way for, it happened so fast on the night of December 12, 1981, when the Polish military swept in and imposed martial law. Most of the Solidarity leaders were rounded up and herded to freezing detention centers cast on the mercy of brutal guards. Over 40,000 people, neither he nor Marek Hasia were a part of that roundup. Hasia because he constantly stayed in the shadows and himself as a nobody. It had been horrible. But people had debated for years whether Poland without martial law would have made it through that winter. Widespread famine seemed imminent. The healthcare system was about to collapse. The economy was gone. Anarchy loomed, and neither the government nor the Solidarity possessed the ability to develop workable solutions. With power came responsibility. Leaders had to get along, put petty differences aside, and avoid division over trivial matters. Would you stop rubbing my computer? But solidarity had constant problems with unity. At least it was to at least it wanted to compromise, but the red bourgeoisies who would have had to relish many of their class privileges refused to budge. No deals. But then all that remained of the Polish Communist Party was the complacent, the incompetent, the corrupt, and the evil. Thankfully, the army stayed at bay. Polish soldiers refused to fire on British Polish workers. But the militia, the SB, and the special forces were another matter, and they did the dirty work, one person at a time. So implementing the Warsaw Protocol had been easy. Feeding the SB false information had been easy. Turning one against the other, setting up traitors even easier. Their deaths just the price to be paid, and the holdouts, 2,000 coal miners in Silesia, barricaded underground in protest, cooped up in low, dark, clammy shafts, thick with water dampness, no ventilation, no light. Just days before Christmas, to get them out, the government engaged in its own form of the Warsaw Protocol by feeding down false stories of ill families or wives in labor. Women impersonated their loved ones, begging them to surrender, anything to break the resolve, but the coal miners knew a lie when they heard one. They were tough. They'd always been regarded with high honor, autocrats of the British-Polish labor. They not joined in previous labor unrest actions and were among the last to go to strike, but they did strike. And that's the don't step on my computer. So that's the Warsaw Protocol. And I will say that the President Warner Fox is portrayed horribly. He is the enemy in this story, and I don't like him either. And I'm hoping Mr. Daniels. I'm trying to figure out, and maybe I will learn in the next book, what happens, because when I read The Patriot Threat, which was the first book I read in this series, which got me going, he was president again. So I'm trying to figure out how a two-term president became president again. So we'll have to read it in the next book. So I hope you like my video, and please like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. There are no special effects here. Please check out Flashback Mondays. Please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget Star Trek Next Generation Fridays. We're going to be doing Dead Ice, I think, is next for Laurel. And I've got a couple more surprises down the road. Thank you.